Oh, I hit the button. Welcome, my name is Brandi and this is My Reseller Treasure. If you're new to my channel, it's okay. So am I. We all start somewhere, right? Anyway, today I'm bringing you a top 10 issues video. These are things that buyers and collectors and as sellers you should really be looking at when searching for dolls and figuring out how much to buy or sell, and if it's fixable, because that's obviously going to go into how much you're going to spend on these dolls, because some of these dolls can be worth quite a bit of money, but some of these issues can bring that value down quite a bit. So let's get started so you can get the most money out of your doll. All right, just so you know, these are not in best to worst order. I just kind of went head to toe, so there's really no best to worst. Really, most issues are really how bad it is, how far damaged it is, just like anything else. All right, so let's start. I have a bunch of dolls here so I can give you examples, and sorry for the little, the awful green screen. That's there so that the background doesn't distract you guys from being able to see the dolls. All right, so we're going to start. Number one is hair. So Barbie hair is obviously nice and usually pretty. Here's the doll. She's kind of tangled, but that's pretty easy. They mainly want to know, are there any haircuts? Is there any discoloration in the hair? This doll actually, I put it at the camera. You probably can't see her. She's got a little discoloration right there. Do I have another one? Nope. Haircuts, discoloration. Is her hair tangled or look a little mess like hers does? Is there any baldness? Are there any missing plugs? Those are probably the top things that buyers want to see, and top things you want to look at when looking at dolls. So when you're taking photographs, you want to make sure you take a photograph of her hair. Same thing with her face, kind of all around. Haircuts, obvious. She's had her haircut. So she looks like she may be missing a couple plugs. As you can see, the plugs in the hair are missing. So she's obviously had a very exciting spa day with her previous previous owner. Now for balding, I don't know if I have a doll here. I'll try to find a doll. Some of the dolls, the older dolls, have a little bit of balding in the back, and that is okay. You will be able to see where their hairline starts and where it finishes. So it's pretty self-explanatory just by looking at their head. Alright, next we're going to move on to number 2, which is green. Most commonly issue is on the ears, and it's basically from the earrings being in the ear. And I do have an example here. This poor girl has a lot of green, as you can see, and it's from the earring. What happens is the metal in the ear starts to corrode, and it seeps into the vinyl or whatever it is they were using back then to make the dolls. And as you can see, it is really, and it does get into the hair. So that's pretty bad. Now green can also be found elsewhere. It can be found on the legs. It can be found behind the knees sometimes. Sometimes they're wearing headbands. Skipper wears a headband and she'll have green on the side of her face from the headband. And this is an unfortunate problem because it is a very hard problem to fix. Most people do not spend the time to fix it because it can literally take months to get this to go away. You have to soak her head, you have to put cotton balls in her head, you have to clean it every so often. It's a long process. So green ear will bring the value of your doll down significantly. You cannot sell a doll for a very high price with green ear. It's yeah. This is a major flaw that will pretty much, bring the value down. She's going to go into a lot of an auction lot that I'll have, so that somebody, if they want to pick up some TLC dolls and restore some, they can do that. Alright, number 3 is neck. Now with the neck you have neck splits. You also, well actually, splits are usually usually in the head, and she actually has one too. This poor doll had everything. So you can see I can push my finger and see how that comes up. So yeah, there, it's a split. I gotta get a better camera, I promise guys. This is also a very heavy devaluing issue with the doll, because that can't be fixed. There's no I can fill it in. It's always probably going to pop open. It's, you know, like anything that you crack, it's always going to be weak, and that will bring the value of your doll down significantly too. I had one here with a crack. I don't know. She's got a little damage there. It's kind of a stress fracture, but it does kind of go in a little bit. But yeah, those are also hard. That makes it harder for them to put the head on the doll. So that is also a big issue that cannot be fixed. Sorry. All right, number 4 is their face. Many of the dolls have some face paint, not face paint, but face makeup. Now she has some beautiful face makeup, and yes, I do call my dolls beautiful. As you can see, her eyelashes are really nice. Her lip makeup is really nice. She's got the cheeks. She looks really good. Okay. This one is another nice one. She didn't have a lot of, she's harder plastic, so she didn't have a lot of cheek, but she has a great lip. Okay. Now here is a Francie doll, and she is actually, if you look at her lips, some of her lipstick is missing. And it's starting to rub off. She should have rosier cheeks as well. And her eyebrows look pretty good, but they're starting to rub off a little bit on the ends. I don't know if you can tell. So the makeup. Another thing you want to look at the face is if they have any nose chips. Part of their nose is missing. Chin is another area. Part of their chin is like chipped off, anything like that. Their eyelashes, are their eyelashes long? I don't know if I'll be able to get her eyelashes on there. Probably not. Nope. If their eyelashes are long, or if they've been cut, or if they're totally missing, you do want to make sure you get close-ups of their face so that at least the collector can tell these issues or not. Okay. All right. Let's see. Number 5. Number 5 is arms. So arms are pretty easy. You know, most of them go up and down as long as they're posable. She poses and they stay in place. Now there are dolls that they'll just fall, meaning they're loose. You want to describe that as loose arms. There are dolls that bend, so if they bend at the arm, you want to make sure they actually bend and stay. She is a bending doll with her arm, and it does stay. See? Check her other one. It does stay. See? So if that's the case, you want to make sure that that in the description you put that the arms do bend and move and pose properly so that they can see that. And you also want to do that in the photo. When you take a picture, bend all her areas that bend so that they can tell, because they're not there to see the doll in person. So, okay. Another issue you want to look for are fingers. Her fingers and her hands are pretty good. She's kind of dirty. However, what you come across, a lot of us little girls used to chew, and you'll come across this. This poor girl has her hand, her fingers chewed quite a bit. So that is an issue that people are going to want to know. They're going to want to see that. Okay. Yeah, I can get her thing to do. All right, the next one is number 6, which is body. Now, they all bend differently. The older models do not bend. They only bend forward actually at the hips. So this is one of the first, she's probably number 6. And she only bends, that's it. She bends no other way, but she works. You do want to make sure you show that they bend when you're doing your photos. Okay, then you have the TNT, or twist and turn. Does she twist? Does she turn? No, she twists. Okay, it's a little stiff, but. And then you have ones like these, and you just want to make sure they've got their movement. Okay, so if there's any cracks in the body, if there's any damage to the hips or anything up here, you want to show that. Any holes, anything that's going on. One issue that does come up, you just saw her in this one. Her boob is pushed in. I don't know how this happens, but it does. And I do see it quite often, but you do just want to make sure that you show them that. Okay. All right, next is number 7, legs. Legs are obviously very important. Again, this is that older doll, and she only does this, and that's fine. But we just want to make sure her legs look good, and she looks pretty good. She's a little dirty, but You know, she looks pretty good. Her feet look good. Okay, so you can see a nice one. If they're supposed to bend like she is supposed to bend. I don't know if you can hear those clicks. All right. Okay. Here is one that is broken. This poor girl again. But her one leg is fine. But this one, it won't stay. Which means the metal part inside of her leg is broken. So that is something that you can show. How do I show that, right? Well, I'm going to bend one of her legs when I take the photo of her like this, so that they can see. Okay? And then in description, I'm going to let them know that her left leg does not bend. Okay? We also want to look at the feet. You want to look for any chewed feet. Let's see. Here's some chewed feet. She's got chewed feet and she's actually got part of her foot missing, so you want to make sure you show those and let them know, because they want to know that. A lot of times you'll have the ankle will be broken and it will be sticking out, and it's kind of weird to think about, but the ankle will be like a broken ankle, like it'll be, the foot will be able to do this. So they do want to know that, because that is not a fixable thing. So you do want to make sure that you show those good ankles and those feet. All right. All right, we are moving on to number 8. All right, number 8 is melting. This is a very common problem from being left out in, attics, garages, wherever there's heat. Plastic and vinyl will melt, especially if it's just being harbored. So I do have one doll, and she's a very pretty doll, but you can see right there clearly that she's got melting. Now she does not move at all. Okay, her arms move, but her legs, they're tight. So this would be melting and stuck joints. A lot of times you get the arms that are stuck, or the legs that are stuck. Now this is possibly fixable. I have fixed dolls that I've gotten, and I've been able to get them to move. I've used steamers. I have a steamer that I use for doll clothes and other things to get dirt off of dolls easier, and I will steam the joints. I will sit here with the steamer and steam it and work it back and forth. Now that's something you can do, or you can just sell it the way it is stuck. Since I do mostly dolls, I do a lot of steaming and cleaning of dolls. It's nothing for me to steam it and try to get it to open. I haven't tried boiling yet. I know that you can boil their legs as well, and their head as well, for lots of other reasons, but I had not tried that. She did not work, and she just became a model. So I haven't tried her again, and maybe I will try that with her. But that is possible that you can get that fixed if you can get a steamer, or there are videos on boiling Barbie dolls and how to get their skin color back and how to get them loose, and other things that are fixed by that. So maybe I'll do another video about that when I happen to have one I have to do that too. But you can also search those, but you can possibly get it fixed yourself. If it's a high value doll, I suggest trying. I've sold last year I sold a Yellowstone Kelly, and you can search her. She is a high value doll, and I sold her for just under for about $100. Her leg was stuck, and I think she had a broken arm. So that just tells you that how rare that doll is, that they still wanted her to see if, I don't know, to see if they could fix her, or maybe they just needed parts for their other doll. But $100 is $100, right? All right, next we have number 9, which is splotches and grease. So I don't have any dolls here with many splotches, but you will come across dolls that have sun splotches or growths, and it just basically looks like they have, I don't know, some kind of skin disease, and there's just literally just splotches in between their regular skin. So that's pretty noticeable. Grease is also another thing. I think her face isn't as greasy, but it is a little bit, you can't tell. Grease on the Barbie face also tells you the age of the doll because of the type of material they use. This is how collectors will be able to tell how old your doll is. So if you ever have like a greasy face doll, sometimes I don't recommend cleaning it unless you have the whole doll and you're trying to go through the whole thing, because the collector wants to see that, and it helps. It's kind of a tell. Same thing is dolls smelling like crayons. Yes, the older the doll, the more it's going to smell like crayons. And I'll have to I'll have to tell you about that in another video. But yeah, grease and different things that are happening to the skin tells you what kind of material was used at the year that they made that doll. So not necessarily have to clean all your dolls. That does help some collectors identify the dolls in the photos, even if you can't. Last but not least are clothes. Clothes are pretty simple. If I can find the clothes, there they are. Obviously, you want to show holes. You want to show stains. You want to, you know, there's no reason to hide this stuff right here. If that obviously they've got these issues with them. I collect and put them all in a bin until I get to a certain amount, and then I just put them in a TLC lot, and people can make their own choice, you know, about if they want to buy it or not. Now, I do list things that have issues if I know that the item is going to sell, or if it's a very rare item, people still may want it. This is an example. It's not a super rare, but it's very pretty, and there's really nothing wrong with this when you look at it, except for there is a small, see that seam. Now, why am I going to sell this separate from that other one? Because there's nothing else wrong with the dress, and this is a simple fix. Somebody can just put a couple of stitches in there and fix it. I don't even know if you can see my little finger in there because it's right on the seam. So I will sell this separately. Maybe an auction I may just put it up for a certain price, because there's literally nothing else wrong with it. The zipper works, and she's got a tag inside, so and pretty. So let me see, do I have anything else? Yeah, see, I mean, not all the clothes look the greatest. And you can't wash some of these clothes too, because a lot of the clothes have whatever kind of dye they used to use, and it will run, and then you'll ruin stuff further. So be careful washing clothes, okay? Alright, put these back in here. Alright guys, so that's it. I just wanted to give you that quick video because I'm working on another video after this and I want to get to it. But finally, I just want to say, just be honest. Just be honest with your photos and description. Many people will buy as long as they know what's wrong. Many buyers just need a replacement, or they're looking to restore their doll with new hair, or they need a new arm or something, or some are just doing one of a kind and they're doing their own dolls. So they just need these other things, that other parts from other dolls or clothes, or you know, whatever it is they need to make their own doll. And again, there's still items that are so rare and sought after that it doesn't matter that they have a hole, or it doesn't matter that they're dingy. So I've sold, I sold an outfit called Benefit Performance once. I got it at a thrift store, and it was an expensive outfit. I want to say $150. I may be wrong. It was last year, but it was a little bit dingy, and the bows had kind of lost their red color. But the outfit was so rare that it didn't matter at that point, so it sold. So there's your top 10. Your top 10 most common issues found on vintage Barbie and other dolls, because you can find these on Tammy's and other dolls that use the same concept and same material that Barbie uses. So, you know, Tammy's and Cindy's, these are all going to be normal things for them. Let me see, I just wanted to make sure. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so have you seen dolls like these with issues before and thought, maybe should I buy that one? Is it still worth it with that green ear or with the broken leg? Should I buy it? No. I wish I had bought it because I seen it on sale, or I saw it for sale on eBay and it went for a lot of money. Well, hopefully this video will help you out with those common issues. Do you know another common issue that I missed? Comment below. Do you have a question? Put it in the comments below. I would love to answer questions. It's kind of become a passion of mine, and I am happy to answer any questions that you might have or point you in the right direction for resources. So I hope this video really helped you understand what to look out for. If you enjoyed the content, hit the like button. Want to see more like it? Be sure to subscribe, as I have more videos on the way. Like I said, I'm working on some more today. It's a new thing for me, so I figured I'd do them all one day, at least for now. Again, I'm a single mom, so I don't like to take too much time away from my kids. Anyway, thanks for watching, and happy doll hunting. Bye!